I think it's a pretty common problem for the trash can to get pretty dirty, especially with kids. To clean my trash can, I took it outside on a hot sunny day and gave the outside a good spray with the hose, then sprayed the inside as well. This removed most of the debris, and I was able to dump all of that into the woods. Then I used some dish soap and a rag to wipe around the outside as well as the inside of the lid and around the inside rim. Then I gave it one more good rinse and let it dry out completely in the sun. And now it's nice and clean and looks amazing again. In my experience, stainless steel appliances look great, but can really look dull and dirty quickly. To start, I removed all the art and magnets from the front of my refrigerator to start with a clean slate. Then I used a wet stainless steel cleaning rag to wipe down the entire surface. This helped to remove all the greasy fingerprints and anything else that was on the surface. Then I sprayed the surface down with some glass cleaner and wiped it down well. This really helps to finish cleaning the stainless steel and give it a good shine. Now my refrigerator and dishwasher are clean and sparkling again. We recently moved, which means some of our furniture got a little scuffed, including my dresser. I refinished this dresser a few years back and luckily still had the paint on hand. So, to fix the visible scuffs, I used a small detail brush and brushed a couple coats of matching paint over top. I let them dry, and now you can't even tell there was missing paint there. Because I rent, I can't paint anything in my house, but that doesn't mean I can't clean up a few things like this tarnished doorknob. To clean the doorknob, I carefully squeezed out some Brasso onto an old rag, then rubbed the product into the metal. The Brasso removed the majority of the tarnish from the knob, and now it's shiny and looking good again. The areas that are most neglected in my bathroom tend to be the floor behind the toilet and the baseboards. These areas tend to get really dusty and need a little extra attention once in a while. All these areas needed were a good dusting with a wet cloth, and the difference is massive. This area went from looking super dirty to brand new in a matter of a couple minutes. The painted woodwork of my porch was not looking so good after pollen and dirt from the summer days had gotten all over it. So an easy remedy to get everything looking better is just a rag and a bucket of hot soapy water. I went in and gave all the woodwork and baseboards a really good wipe down, and it made such a difference. Although I would like to paint this room to make it even better, giving it a good clean really brightened the space and made it feel so much better.
Here's how to elevate your home with $8 Rub and Buff. Firstly, I got silver leaf and gold leaf Rub and Buff and decided to make custom colors with these. Then I got some green painter's tape and totally protected the porcelain of the toilet. Then I went in using a blush brush, which is really nice and fluffy and perfect for this application, and then applied that toned down gold that really ended up like a champagne. Then I removed the tape to reveal elevated builder grade plumbing. This super cheap Walmart silver finish needed an upgrade. So I took another makeup brush, this one is an old eyeshadow brush, and brushed on that same champagne Rub and Buff. And you can see already just how nice and warm that finish is compared to the old grommet. I repeated this for all the grommets as well as the curtain rod. And that did a great job of warming things up. I am not about to drop $1,000 on a frame TV, but the gold leaf Rub and Buff did a great job at giving me the same look for only a few bucks. I was admittedly a little bit messy when I painted this door and got some paint on the hinges, but luckily that gold leaf came in handy to give it a classic brass hinge look. These light switches were far too plain, but that slightly warm silver was perfect to give it new life.
Customize your light switch covers with these 4 easy hacks. Grab some napkins, apply Mod Podge to the light cover switch, place the napkin on top, and gently wrap the napkin over the edges of the cover. Trim the excess and apply Mod Podge on the top of the napkin and poke the screw holes out. 2. Grab some washi tape and place on a light cover switch. Wrap around the edges and keep adding tape until it is completely covered. Poke the screw holes and you're done. 3. Grab some scrap wallpaper and trim a little bigger than the light switch cover. Use hot glue on the edges to wrap and secure the wallpaper over the light switch cover. Trim the corners to reduce the bulk, and then cut out the center hole and wrap it to the back. Poke the screw holes through. 4. Grab some adhesive shelf liner and cut it a little bigger than the light switch cover. Peel the backing off, apply to the light switch cover, and trim the corners before wrapping it around the back. I used a blow dryer to smooth it out and it helped it stick better. Cut the center hole and wrap it to the back. Now you have 4 unique ideas for creating custom light switch covers. I hope this inspired you to create your own light switch cover. I grabbed 2 wood spindles for the best bedroom hack. I cut them partway up. I didn't even measure. I just went to a spot that I thought looked good. I painted them with black latex paint. While they were drying, I used hot glue to attach 4 small swivel wheels to the bottom of a plastic container. I set that aside. Once the black spindle pieces were dry, I used glue to attach them to the bottom of my bed frame legs to raise it up, but that's not only it. Not only is my bed taller and a better height, but I am now also able to store things under it like this container on wheels. How convenient is that? Isn't this such an awesome bedroom hack?
I'm going to show you an easy hack for your window blinds. Start by closing your blinds part way. Then, at about the midpoint of your blinds, start flipping each of the slats up the opposite way. You're going to do this until you reach all the way to the bottom of your blinds. Then, you're going to reopen your blinds and you'll find that only the top portion of your blinds open. The bottom portion will actually tighten a little bit to close the gaps. This allows light to pass through the top while providing some extra privacy down below. It's a really simple but effective hack that you can use on your blinds, maximizing daylight without having to sacrifice your privacy. No extra materials needed.
Do you have paint chips or scratches on your cupboards? I got these paint pens from Amazon and they came with a syringe. I grabbed the original paint to match the cupboards and I stirred it and used the syringe to fill the paint pen. I placed the brush end on and gave the end a few turns until the paint started to come out. Before touching up my cupboards though, I wiped them clean with a cloth and made sure they were dry. Then I used the paint pen to cover any chipped areas. The brush is really soft and worked well to feather the paint in. I tried it on the tops and front of my cupboards. In some spots, I did 2 coats to really feather it in. And here's what it looks like after it dried. I can't believe how well it worked and how quick it was, so I tried another area in my home that needed touching up. I dropped something heavy down my staircase and it did some serious damage. I wiped the area clean, filled the white paint pen up with the paint that matched my staircase and the rest of the house, and I touched up all the exposed wood parts. It feels so good to have this job done, and now I'm wondering why it took me this long to do it.